I'm dreaming of the road again, set free in the wind.
Remodeling a country home means that we have been staying with my grandmother, so here's a glimpse into what a morning has looked like. Go downstairs and fix the boys some breakfast, and then once they're good and settled, then I would come back up here and finish getting ready for the day. Look at how cute their little fort is. I can't wait to go back home and start making more of them. Home sweet home. Room and the doors. Hold on, baby. So let's do a little update on kind of everything that's going on. So when we first were doing this remodel, we were not coming to the house like as much as we were, especially in the mornings. So it was kind of like every other day per se. I just ran to go take our trash to the road because I thought they had already came. So I was gonna drag it out, pardon me. Anyways, but now that it's getting closer to crunch time, we've been coming pretty much like in the mornings, and I'm now keeping the flock in the run because the ducks have been crossing the street. We came over probably a few mornings ago and they went across the street 3 different times. And our neighbors are pretty chill, but at the same time, you can't take advantage of that. I haven't been there to really witness. And the chickens are going further back where I want them to go. There's a few that kind of get up to the road, and our neighbor has a rooster, and apparently the rooster's been coming up towards her house. So right now I'm probably just keeping them in until we move back in. There might be a few times when I might let them out, maybe every couple of days or so they can actually free range and have like the extra room. But for the time being, I'm trying to like train them, I guess, so they don't go out that far. And then when we're here, I can show them more going this area. And also I think I'm gonna try to get rid of the ducks. I want to eventually move our chicken coop further back on the property, so like you wouldn't even technically see it from the house. You probably could during like fall and winter time, but when it's spring and summer, probably not. But it's within walking distance. It's closer to where my garden would be, and I want to do that one because it's flatter land and they're not really coming up towards the house. There probably would still be a few that would do that for stacks, but I want them going more towards first, like our first hayfield. And that is a risk to take with predators and whatnot. I mean, it's a risk letting them out and about now, and even to this day, it's a risk. You're out in the country. Like, I don't know what to tell people, whether they're in their coop or not. It's a possibility, and it's no different than having goats or pigs further on a property. Like, that's just the downside of that. Anyway, so I eventually want to move their coop, and the ducks could still be there, but Austin doesn't like the duck eggs. I don't mind them. I like my eggs fried, but you have to like fry the yolk more. They're good to bake with, but I get about 4 eggs daily, and there's just not a lot of people locally or even people in my family that I know that really want There's 2 people that love them, and they just don't eat eggs quick enough. That's fine. It's no one's issues. But so I'm going to try to see if I can get rid of all 6 of them together and just go from there. And then maybe eventually downsize with the chickens. I'm not really entirely sure yet. I just talked to Austin because I literally have, I don't think you can see, I have 4 18 cartons and 2 12 cartons full of eggs, and I have not collected today. And they've been molting. They have been taking a break from laying. I have not even touched my water glassing. So, but I haven't needed to. I've literally been getting eggs daily. Like, we we have been blessed tremendously, and that also takes into the factor I literally have 26 chickens, so I'm gonna get a few eggs either way. So I thought about downsizing a little bit, or I was talking to Austin and showing him my pins on having a little market. I have talked about doing that for the past, probably since we have like moved here. It's just not been the right season for that. And eventually I want to get a few more livestock and hopefully have a thriving garden. That way after I do canning, then I could like sell some of the produce. I also need to look into our state regulations on situations like that and see what I can and can't do. So I want like a little market. So I just sent him a pin so he can look, because we have a pile of pallets that we used when we made this duck coop, the little duck house, and I want to make some cat houses. But if I can get me a little farm stand going, especially before spring hits, that would be fantastic. And then eventually I want like a greenhouse. And I feel sorry for my man, I really do. So a little update on the house. We basically should be able to be moving in right now. Today should have been the last day that they were doing everything with the trim, the doors, etc. But we realized that we picked out semi-gloss and the rest of the house we did satin, and it still has like that little shine, but it's not the glossy. And so where this is new drywall and there's like nothing on it, you can literally see like the imperfections of the drywall or the mudding or whatever the case may be. And there's really not a lot of imperfections. It's just the paint strokes. You can see it. And I don't like it. It looks like it's wet, and then you literally see where they have put the roller or this, and it's not like necessarily uneven, but you just see it like it's paint. So they are going to be getting the same exact colors that they did for these bedrooms and living room, and they're just going to paint over it. They should just be able to do one coat. It will be satin, so hopefully that will fix that. And then after that, just finish putting up the trim, and then hopefully by the end of this week we should be able to come back home. And I'm so excited, so excited. Lots of good things coming, lots of plans. And also we have looked at, I want to say 3 or 2 places within this whole process. We actually put an offer in at one, and it was like 20 acres or something of the sorts, less than what we have now, and it would have been paid off. So that's why we're gonna do it. But Austin ended up getting a new job offer, so he may be taking that, and that would have been like a further drive. So we actually did put an offer in, and they did accept it, but it was like past like our contract. They accepted it after the 24 hours when they were supposed to, so we kind of got to skip out on it. Like, we went and looked at this one house, and it only had 3 acres, a whole lot less than what we have now, but it would have been paid off, and we would have bought like separate land, and it's just a whole thing. I know it doesn't make sense, it's fine. Trust the process. And then we just realized it just was not it. And then Austin and my brother went and looked like a Victorian house yesterday, and I think it had 10 or 7 acres, and it was like all flat, so you could have been able to do more, but there was like one area of the property that would flood. The house wasn't in the flood zone, but like part of the property was. Beautiful home. I believe that was a no. Obviously we're still here. Don't be surprised if one day if we do move, but we also may stay here for the rest of our life. So I don't know, it's just a journey in itself. We are in our 20s, we are living and learning, so it's just, life's too short. So don't listen to anybody and don't think you have to stay in one place. Just make sure it has good intentions. Like, for example, the reason why we were considering about moving is because we can find another place, maybe have less property, it's fine and dandy, still do what we want to do, and have a paid off house and be debt free. That's kind of like why. That's the real reason of why. It's not just because we hate it here. We love it here. The only downside about here is there is some hillsides, and there's no poles out here for electricity or like water sources. So like where our house is, like at the rest of our property, we would have to like do that, and that would cost like your arm and a leg, honestly. So that's just kind of the thing. I have considered trying to convince Austin to do solar power or stuff like that, but even then, that's just, it's a lot. So we're just trying to figure out what's best, if we need to get like a bulldozer and blow down some of these hills, because I want a barn. So it's just a lot to like consider, especially when it comes into having property, and a lot of people don't understand that, and it does cost a lot just to even maintain it or even do livestock. So it's just, you know, we're not being irrational, we're not being impulsive. When we do things, we have sat and considered it, we've talked about it amongst ourselves and prayed about it, and you know, if we're gonna stay here, we're gonna stay here. But at the end of the day, the goal is to have a paid off place and be debt free and have more freedom to be able to like travel or do the things we want to do or whatever the case may be. So there's a little food for thought, in case you're a little curious and you haven't seen my previous videos on explaining the situation. So anyways, welcome to our morning. I believe my brother, sister-in-law, and one of my nephews will be coming over here shortly, and we are going to be going in the garage. We got a new tractor too, by the way. It's an older model, but so they've been trying to tinker on that, get it going and working. A lot has been happening besides this house remodel, but hopefully we can catch up throughout the weeks. And yeah, also let me know if it is raining or snowing or complete sunshine where you're at. It is currently raining, and the next week it's supposed to be like 18 and below. I'm sure when we move back in, that fireplace will be getting in some work. I will tell you that. Taking out the stuff from the fridge so I can deep clean it, but I'm setting it out so I can get to room temperature before I actually like start trying to wash it or anything of the sorts, because I've seen videos where people have done that and the plastic has cracked or the glass has done so. So I'm gonna set this out, that way the next couple days I can take the other shelves out a few at a time and deep clean a couple of them, as well as put them back. So there's like some shelving in there because we do have like some drinks in there. Like we also have like bologna or sandwich bread. And I got the little snack chips, like the little bags. So that way there's like a little something here. That way if the boys or Austin and Christian are here, they have a little something. So we're not having to order takeout every time, and it's not so costly.